Experience Cyclone Filter Cleaner, the smarter, faster way to clean your pool filter. Tired of slow and messy filter cleaning that leaves your back hurting? Cyclone Filter Cleaner changes that. Now you can clean 4 filters in 15 minutes. Designed by pool pros, its spinning action reaches deep into every pleat without you bending over. Just connect your hose, slide the filter on, and watch the magic happen. Clean smarter, faster, and easier with Cyclone Filter Cleaner.
Hey Pool Pros, tired of roasting under the sun and gear that doesn't hold up? Revved Up Apparel has your back with SPF protected apparel made for the pool pro. Want to stand out from the competition? Done. No minimum orders, no inventory stress. We handle the design, hosting, printing, and fulfillment, so you can focus on the grind. Whether you're a single pooler or managing a whole fleet, this is how you gear up smart and stay sharp. Check out RevvedUpApparel.com. Built for the pool pro, designed for the proud.
Vac Bags, a global brand that's locally owned and operated, providing pool debris bags to pool guys in SoCal, so your pool can be debris-free for the weekend. More info at vacbags.com, VACBAGZ.com.
Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
This episode is brought to you by Skimmer. Trusted by over 30,000 pool service pros across North America, Skimmer software helps you save time, grow revenue, and boost your 5-star reviews. Whether you're just starting out or owning the market, Skimmer's easy-to-use tools and expert support have you covered. Upgrade your business in 2025 with Skimmer. Visit getskimmer.com/tip of the day to try Skimmer for free for 30 days.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, and listen to the big homie Pete the Pool Guy. Dropping game, keep it real, put the knowledge on deck. From backyard pools to collecting them checks. Ain't no gimmicks, no stress, just some free flow talk. Breaking bread, building up, gotta walk that walk. From the glory to the hustle, every move got a plan. If you work it the right way, you can level up, man. Pool Full Podcast, let's ride. Game so deep, let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Pool Full Podcast, let's ride. Game so deep, let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Pool Food Podcast. I'm your host, Pete the Pool Guy, and today I've got Jordan from Blue Oasis Pool Care on the show. We're going to dig into his story, how he got started in the pool business, the challenges he faced, and what kept him going. Whether you're in the pool industry or just curious about the grind, there's a lot to take away from this one. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Pete. Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you being here, man. So let's get started with what did you used to do before you got into the pool game?
So before I got into pools, I was actually in the oil field up in North Dakota, and I was up there for a little over 10 years.
In the oil field? Yeah,
I was mostly driving truck up there. I was kind of somewhat of a manager up there. I had 10 to 15 guys under me, and I'd kind of help route everybody, and it was organized chaos.
Man, I bet the oil industry, that's a lucrative business right there. So you were the manager. So what exactly did that entitle?
So basically I did the full job, but then I fielded all the phone calls and basically kind of just routed everybody, because I would always get a call and say, hey, we need somebody over here to do this job. And so I would have to kind of know where my guys were, and then I'd route them over there to go get that job taken care of.
And that's the digging into the earth to find the oil. Is that what you were involved in?
A little bit, a very small part. So we mainly just hauled so it was called production water. It was salt water, and it's, I think it was 9 to 10 times more salty than the ocean. So it's very salty, and each gallon weighed about 10 to 12 pounds. So it was very heavy water. And it was partially radioactive and stuff like that. Some of it would come up out of the ground, and then they'd split it off into tanks, and then we'd have to haul it off. Otherwise, the tanks would overflow. And we'd basically just hauled it to a place that we called a disposal, and they would just shove it back down in the ground. So it was just kind of a cycle.
And how long were you in that business?
A little over 10 years.
10 years. Whoa, yeah. That's a long time. And first of all, where are you from? Where do you live at?
So I'm originally from Seattle. I moved out of there in 2012 and then moved to Idaho. I was working at a trout farm, and they had bought a farm in Twin Falls, Idaho. So I moved down there to go work that. And then I was already wanting to go to the oil field even when I lived out in Seattle. And so I went ahead and got my CDL and went and drove over the road doing long haul. I did that for 5 months and then got a job with a family friend up in North Dakota. And that's kind of how it all got started.
Oh, wow. Where do you live at right now?
Right now I live, we're about 45 minutes to an hour north of Las Vegas.
Okay. So where do you live at?
It's called Moapa, Nevada. Nobody's ever heard of it.
Nevada. Awesome. And all right. So you used to be, so you said you were doing something else, and then the goal or the mission was always to work in the oil industry. So then you went into the oil industry, and then you were there for 10 years. What made you make the switch from that to cleaning pools? Because I mean, that was the mission. The goal was like, man, I'm going to work in the oil industry. So I'm going to get my license. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you got there. And then you made the change. What made you make the change to pools?
Well, so having a family definitely changed that. I was working 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. So I was gone for literally half the year. And you know, when you got kids, it's hard to be gone for half the year, and you only get to see them every now and then. And
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they do a lot of growing up and raising hell when you're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So then you okay, so what about cleaning pools or starting your own business cleaning pools? What was it attractive, or how did that come into you're like, okay, this is what I should be doing?
So when we moved down here, I was still working in the oil field. That was in February of 23. And I was actually wanting to get a project management job in Vegas. And I kind of got one, but I was still working in the oil field at the time before I had really landed that job. And so I was kind of looking for a business to buy or a business to start, and found a pool route for sale. And I didn't even know that was a thing. And I got to looking around out here where we live, and there was quite a few pools. And then I started diving into it more and learned about the Pool Nation podcast. And then there was another one, Cody Sanchez. She's got the Big Deal podcast, but she does a lot of YouTube videos. And she has some guys from Vegas on, and they had a pool route, and that's kind of what got the ball rolling, and just kind of started diving in and learning about it.
Nice. So did you know anybody that cleaned pools at all?
Nobody.
So it was literally you just going online, and it was like, oh shoot, pool cleanings, pool route.
Yeah.
Dang. How many pools did you end up buying?
I didn't buy any.
Oh, okay. So you just saw it and it just sparked the idea.
Yep.
Okay. And the name of your business is Blue Oasis Pool Care. Correct. So that's when you decided, you know what, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start cleaning pools.
Yeah. And there was actually a company out here that comes out to the valley we're in, and they had quite a bit of pools, and I looked up their reviews, and their reviews were not very good. And so that's why I decided to kind of go the route of of starting my own business and seeing how it went, trying to give them some competition. And it ended up pretty good for us because we've taken most of their pools that they had here in the valley. So
That was your mission to bring them
wasn't
down.
necessarily the mission, but
You're
I
like,
even
oh,
I even sent them a letter and offered to buy all their pools, their route that they had in the valley, and they turned me down. So
gotcha, man. So, how did you come up with the name Blue Oasis Pool Care?
we were just thinking about a bunch of different names, and we landed on Blue Oasis Pool Care. We figured that was kind of a good name. We were thinking like Blue Lagoon, but Lagoon kind of has a not so good sound to it.
Like a swampy sound to it, right? Yeah. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, that sounds green.
Yeah.
Man, what were the early challenges when you started your business? I mean, have you had a business before prior to this?
I did. I had a trucking business for a little while, and that was up in the oil field, and I ran that into the ground really quickly.
Oh, wow.
So
How long did you do that?
That lasted all of about 7 or 8 months.
Oh, okay. And then it just kind of went sour.
Yeah, I was trying to be a big dog too quick. I wanted to sit on the couch and just tell people what to do.
I got you. That makes sense. So what were the early challenges when you got started in the pool business, and how did you push through them?
So a lot of the challenges we faced were basically not knowing anything. So we came into it very green. Right off the bat, we took our CPO certification through Sherwood Pool Consulting Group out of LA, Steve Sherwood. And I really feel like that gave us a very good head start because going from knowing nothing, and then Steve and Jen taught us so much in that class. I really feel like that gave us a good boost there. But, just going from, there was a couple green pools that we picked up. And so having to learn how to get those turned back and learning how to clean filters and, start doing some small repairs. Those were some pretty big challenges we faced. And then it was basically YouTube University learning how to overcome those challenges.
A lot of us learned. A lot of us graduated from YouTube University. I get you. But cleaning pools and being in the pool business, how long have you been in the pool business now?
So we've been in the pool business. We started the business May of 2023. So, I mean, literally just over 2 years, but it feels like 10.
I hope that's a good thing. I hope that's a good thing. Man, okay, so you know what? We all know that 80% of servicing a pool is going to be the chemistry, right? So you said you didn't have any experience with pool chemistry. So when you dove into the actual chemistry and learning what it takes to keep a pool clean, did you find that difficult? Did you catch on to it pretty fast? Did it make sense to you?
I don't know why, but yeah, I feel like we caught on to it pretty quick. It's just, so we learned through, Sherwood Pool Consulting Group, like I said, and then Pool Nation. And,
by the way, I love Pool Nation. We actually, you and me got to actually meet at a boot camp at the Western, right?
I want to say it was the international show in 23.
You're right. It was the international where we actually got to meet.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you. I started my education on chemistry with Pool Nation podcast, with YouTube University, and then went from there. But I love Pool Nation because they have a lot of classes and a lot of programs to be able to help us, the pool pros, learn and get better at our craft. So that's big props to them on that one. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So a typical work day for you when you're out in the field, what does that look like?
Well, so nowadays it looks a little different. As of March of this year, I'm a service manager of another pool company in Vegas, as well as in working my own business, which my wife helps out with big time. She basically runs the day-to-day while I'm gone running the day-to-day at the pool company in Vegas. And we've got 650 pools there. And then we've got 82 out here in Logandale, Moapa Valley, where we're at.
So the 82, those are yours?
Those are mine.
Gotcha. So let's focus on your business. What's a typical day look like? Do you have employees? Is it just you by yourself? Talk to me about that.
So we have one full-time guy. He runs a route, and then we've got a part-time guy, And then we also have my wife. She's basically full-time, kind of part-time. She's more diving into repairs, and I'm getting her trained up on that.
Wait. Your wife's doing repairs?
Yeah.
Dude, I could not get my wife to do repairs. I can't even get my wife outside. No, man. My wife be doing the office, the billing, the payroll, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, so she found it is that something that she was interested in doing, was the repairs or the service side?
She was not interested in any of it. She kind of got pushed into it. Because I was needing help, because we started when we first started, we were kind of getting so many accounts. I needed help, so we got her CPO, and then got her trained up on that and servicing pools, and then we got a guy hired to help out, and he didn't last very long because he wanted to go do his own thing. He's in HVAC, but he had done pools in the past, so he didn't last very long. And then it was me and Megan as my wife. She kind of helped out with filling in his spot. And then we hired this other guy, Dustin. He's our full-time tech. And then we had Chris for a while. And he's been part-time. He's just out of high school, so he's not quite sure which direction he wants to go in life, but we're kind of trying to help him decide. And I don't think he's going to stay in the pool business long-term, but he's helping us out and we're helping him out. So that's
there
awesome.
You go.
Yeah.
So how many pools does Dustin do per week?
I think he's got
or stops
38.
38 stops.
Yeah. So out here where we're at, it's a lot different, I've noticed, than a lot of other places. The valley we're in, we have pretty big pools. A lot of them are 20 to 40,000 gallons on average. So they're pretty big. And then we have a lot of dirt and debris that gets blown into these pools. And so they get trashed almost every week.
Okay, so how long does it take for either Dustin or yourself to clean a pool, a 20 to 40,000 gallon pool?
We shoot for no more than an hour a visit, and so we're priced quite a bit higher than everybody else. And so
if you don't mind me asking, what is the price range out there where you're at?
So our average is $160 a month plus chems. But we've got some of the bigger ones, they're $200 a month plus chems.
$200 a month plus chems.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that once a week or twice a week?
That is once a week. When we first started out, we were doing some twice a weeks. But now we've kind of got everything leveled off to where it's just once a week. There was one pool we did last year where we were having some issues. They're getting a lot of, they've got eucalyptus trees in the backyard that hang right over the pool.
Jeez.
And just dropping leaves right in the pool. And so it was going green quite often. But we put a salt cell on their pool. And that's really helped out this year. So we've got it nailed down to just once a week now. But for the most part, we don't really do twice a week anymore.
And you said it takes approximately about an hour, or that's the cap. You cap yourself at an hour that you spend per pool, depending on how they look. So let's say you show up to a pool and you feel, obviously by looking at it, you could tell it's already been an hour and it still doesn't look good. How do you work that out with the clients?
So I've taken a page from this guy named Pete, where he recommends to charge, like an extra service cleaning fee as far as like if the pools have gotten wrecked. It's kind of an extra fee we add on, like if it's going to take more time, because it's nothing we did to cause the pool going that way. So we do offer that to the customers, as well as there's another post we saw on Facebook kind of going along the same lines, is that, we can tell the customers, hey, if you're fine with it, we'll take, our time. We'll get it as clean as we can today within the hour. And it may take, another week or two to get it fully cleaned up back to the way it was. But if you want it cleaned up this weekend, if you're willing to spend an extra $75 to get it cleaned up, we'll go ahead and just finish it out, get it cleaned up today, and get it spotless.
Okay. So for an additional $75, you'll finish the job, or you'll do an additional visit?
It's basically an additional visit. So we'll spend an additional hour and a half extra visit on that.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting to me, because out here, our pools aren't that big. So if it's going to take us about an hour to clean a pool, it's because it was windy, we had debris in the pool. But you said most of your pools, every time you hit them, they're full of debris.
Yeah, and we use riptides too. We don't system back anything. Well, I shouldn't say we don't system back anything. We've started doing a few here and there, but they're pretty small pools. Those would be like the 7 to 10,000 gallon pools. We'll system back them, but for the most part, we're only using riptides, and it still takes us an hour.
Wow. Any crawlers in the pools?
I think we've got 23% that have crawlers.
Do you feel that having crawlers in a pool is a benefit? Like, is it helping you out? I guess the reason I'm asking this question is because obviously you have dirt debris and then you have leaves. So if you have leaves, a lot of leaves that fall into the pool, the crawler doesn't really help that much because they'll get stuck or debris gets stuck in the crawler. So in your situation, do you feel that crawlers help your situation out a lot more or not really?
Well, absolutely. They definitely help. We've also got a couple customers, like that one in particular with the eucalyptus trees. She has 2 solar skimmers in her pool, and that helps a ton.
Solar skimmers?
Yeah, like the betas.
Yeah. I don't have any with those. They help out a lot then?
They do.
Huh. Okay. So it takes about an hour so let's say, so that's what Dustin mostly handles. Are you cleaning pools? Are you doing repairs? What are you doing?
So I clean pools on the weekends because I got that other business. I'm Monday through Friday. I'm in Vegas working on that. I leave my house at 5:20 in the morning and I get home about 6:30 every night. So I don't really have time to clean pools, but then on the weekends I kind of play catch up. I'll go do repairs or do any cleanings or startups that we get. We're kind of partnered with a builder out here in the valley. Anytime he does a new pool, we get the startup on it. So
okay. What's your favorite part of the job?
Repairs. I like going in and taking something that doesn't work and fixing it and coming out of there. It makes me feel real good that I was able to fix the problem for the customer.
Yeah, problem solving.
Yeah.
A lot of pool guys love that, man. I'm right there with you when it comes down to repairs. You don't feel rushed. You feel like you could take your time. And you're obviously trying to improve the system or trying to make it better than what it is. So yeah, that makes sense. And the toughest jobs you've had to deal with would be in like repairs. Like, do you have any jobs that you're like, man, that one kind of was a little too big for me? Or you know,
I probably have had those. I've kind of forgotten those ones now because I deal with a lot of the stuff in Vegas, and I just look at some of that stuff and it's like, wow, what are these people doing? A lot of it has been homeowner fixes, thinking they were fixing their stuff correctly, and it just has gone through and messed their stuff up. There's one we just picked up in Vegas that the outlet of the filter tank going back to the pool is flex pipe, and they glued it into Schedule 40 PVC.
Does it work?
Apparently.
He's like, hey, as long as the water's flowing through it, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. You have those Mickey Mouse jobs that'll, definitely. How would you say that you find, what tactics do you use, not tactics, or what do you use to find more clients, new clients?
So I jump on Facebook and we have some local community pages. We're close to St. George, Utah, and we're starting to pick pools up there as well. And so I jump on to some of the Facebook groups and, I'll type in the search bar, just pool, and people will either be looking for pool service or they'll have a problem with their pool, and I'll just go answer their questions. I won't even mention anything about the business unless they're specifically looking for, a new pool service company. But then we also use a marketing company. It's called Haibu. They do a lot of marketing for tons of different businesses and they're nationwide. It's fairly expensive. But it is very good. We pick up a lot of clients using them.
How do they help with the marketing? What strategies do they use or what do they do?
So they went in and rebuilt our website. They do Google ads. I think the local service ads is Google, if I remember right. They do Facebook ads. And I want to say they do Instagram ads for us as well.
Isn't that stuff that you could do yourself though?
It is, but I am not good at it and I don't have the time for it.
Gotcha. Okay. So you handed it over to somebody else to take care of it. Okay. Yeah. I thought they were doing maybe something different. Like, I don't know, like mail flyers or some stuff like that. Do they do stuff like that?
I think I could definitely request them to do that. I have done mail flyers myself in the past. And I've had some decent success with it, especially out here where a lot of our customer base is older. But like we've tried sending out a bunch of mailers up to St. George, and I want to say 60% of them got returned to me, either bad addresses or people just didn't pick them up or just sent them back or something. But yeah, we didn't have good success in St. George with that.
Where do you get success in? What's like, oh man, this is gold. Which one?
So the as far as like what tactic or
yeah, what gets you more clients?
the web-based stuff, having a marketing company do all that is definitely the one we've seen the most success with.
Got you. Anything in specific? Like, okay, I get most of my clients through Instagram, most of my clients through Facebook, Google Maps, or Google recommendations. Which one would you say works the best?
The Google is different. Not the Google.
The Google? We sound so old right now.
Right?
The Google.
Yeah, the Google marketing is the best one we've seen work well. And I still use Skimmer, and so I use tags for everything. And so I'll keep track of where each customer comes from, and that's a specific thing I ask them when I go quote their pool. I'll ask them where they heard about us, as well as I'll take into account if they have new equipment, if it's a startup, anything like that. I keep track of everything like that in Skimmer.
You use Skimmer app?
I do. As I know that they increased the price, but once I jumped on with this other company in Vegas, I really learned the value of having Skimmer. I wanted to switch to Pool Brain, and I almost did. But Skimmer works so well, I can't move away from it at the moment. But I would definitely be willing to give Pool Brain another try.
Gotcha. I use Skimmer myself. I love Skimmer. They're actually sponsors of the podcast.
Okay.
I love their system. You say you use the hashtags, with a lot of pool guys don't know that Skimmer has that option. Explain how that works and how that helps you.
So I'll go in basically, like I was saying, if a customer heard from us through Google, I'll track that. If they heard through us through Facebook.
But how do you track it? How does the hashtag actually work?
So let's just say at like the end of the quarter, I'll go in and pull up I'll put in like Meta or Facebook or whatever, and just see how many of them we got through that specific spot or marketing.
So on the profile itself, you'll put hashtag, I don't know, Facebook.
Yes, exactly.
Hashtag Instagram client, and then so when you type in Instagram client, it pulls up all the clients that you got from Instagram.
Exactly.
That's really good. That's a good way of tracking your marketing.
Yeah. And I do the same thing. I use those tags if they have cleaners, if they have a salt pool, if they have a pool cover, lots of stuff like that. I also keep track of what year I picked them up, and the towns they're located in. It's just I use those tags for everything.
Gotcha. So what sets your business aside, your pool business aside, from any other pool business that's out there in your area?
Well, so I feel like we take the time to take care of the customer's pool like it's our own. A major complaint we heard about when we were going and quoting a lot of these pools when we first started was that the guys that were coming out here were using strips. They were in the backyard for 5 minutes and they were just throwing tabs in. And I kind of shot myself in the foot last year when I went and did some of the classes. And I basically was on a whole no tab kick. And that really bit me in the butt.
You know what? I was right there with you. I went to a lot of the classes that focus on using liquid chlorine.
Yep.
And I got to the point where I was spending a lot of money on liquid chlorine. And I got away from tabs because I was the same way. I was like, oh, I just want to focus on if I'm want to affect my total chlorine or my free chlorine, I'm going to use liquid and only liquid because I don't want to affect any other of my other chemicals. But then summer came along and you're like, I really need to use tablets. Tablets help out a lot. As long as you have your conditioner, your CYA under control, then you're good, and just don't use tablets are there. I see it like this. Tablets are there to help keep the chlorine where it's at. it's not meant to add chlorine, and it's not meant to obviously take away chlorine. But if you want to add chlorine, or if you want to increase your total chlorine, then you add the liquid or you add the chlorine in powder form. But to maintain it, to help you to the next level or the next visit, then you have to use tablets.
Yep,
It has to
exactly.
happen. So you started running into a lot of green pools or a lot of zero free chlorine.
Well, so that's the thing also out here where we're at. It's very challenging. And I don't know if it's a lot from the dirt and dust that gets in the pools every week. I know obviously the phosphates eat up some chlorine, as well as the, swimmers and the other organic materials. But for the most part, we do our damnedest to try and keep chlorine in the pool. And usually every week when we come back, most of the pools have zero chlorine. And they stay looking fantastic. And I think it's because we're hitting them right on the dot. But yeah, it's learning, when I went into Vegas, learning a lot how that business gets run. They freak out if we have zero chlorine the next week. So I've kind of applied that to my business, and it's helped out.
There you go. What about Blu-ray XL? Are you using it?
I have used some Blu-rays. We've got some problem pools that we throw them in. I've tried. One of the reasons when I started out, we were including chems, and now we've made the switch to plus chems. And I did that mainly to try and get customers to, want to solve some of the problems we were having. Like some of them wouldn't want to fix their salt systems, putting new salt cells in. One of the pools we had that we dropped, thankfully, it was a dog pool. He was a dog trainer, and he had 7 dogs that got in the pool every single day.
What do they say? Every dog is 10 people?
Yes.
Jeez.
And his pool was green almost every week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we threw a Blu-ray in there. That one helped out, but then he, wasn't wanting to pay for stuff, and we lost a lot of money the first 2 years. And so we made that switch to fully being plus cams on everybody's, and it's really helped out,
I like how you say that you use the plus cams as a way for them to fix things.
Yep.
Like, because otherwise they could care less if the salt system is working or not working, because they're not the ones paying for it.
Exactly.
For the chemicals. That makes sense. This is a really a topic of conversation that I've had with people I've been having on the podcast, and it's that the chemicals, the service plus chems, and how do you explain that to the client? The offset of having every month is a different price, and some customers are like, I want my monthly price to be the same every month. I don't want to worry about this month it's going to be more, next month's going to be less, So how did you tackle that situation with clients?
One of the good ways that I sell it to people, it doesn't always work, but it works a lot of the time, is that when you're going to be using your pool more often in the summertime and it's getting used more, your price is going to be higher because it's going to use more chems. And then in the wintertime, when you're not using it as much, your price is going to drop and you're going to be closer to that base price. And I always make sure to tell people it comes in real handy during the holiday seasons when you're trying to buy everybody presents. Your price is going to be lower on your pool care.
Okay. So, because when you're doing service with chemicals included, we're on our side, we're the ones that summer we're spending more, and then in the winter we're spending less. So our excuse is always like, well, I'm going to make it up in the winter. And I had a conversation with Zach from Pineapple Pool, and he was saying, what if they quit before the winter? Then you just lost money, But the way that I see it, or that I've been seeing it, is like, okay, everybody has their bottom line price. No matter how big the pool is, this is the minimum that I'm going to charge. And when you're coming up with that minimum that you're going to charge, myself, I take into consideration, all right, worst case scenario, how much am I going to be spending in chemicals? And that's usually what I based it off of. So when I am spending a lot more on chemicals during that month, I'm kind of there. So the client's paying it. And when I'm spending less, then the client's not paying for it. But that's another conversation where it's like, okay, is it fair for the client since they're not paying for it? But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you could have, for the client, you could either have your minimum, your monthly expense on your pool care to be the same all the way all year long. So you don't have to worry about your price going up and down, and have that peace of mind of knowing every month my monthly payment's going to be 175, or every month my payment's going to be 200. So when I'm making my books or I'm making my budget, I know this is how much I'm going to be spending on my pool care. Like you said, if you do service plus chemicals, on the summer, you're going to be spending more. And in the winter, you're going to save yourself some money. It could be both ways. It just depends, I guess, on the client, depends on how you run your business and what works for you, or what works for you. And is it fair for the client as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. How do you build trust with your clients, and how do you stop or keep your retention down, from clients leaving?
So we do have some clients that leave in the wintertime. It's not generally too often. We were doing some above ground pools, and those would be the ones we'd always get to drop off, because that's kind of the market out here, is we get a lot of people that have above grounds, and there's quite a few challenges with those that I've kind of given up on.
I used to do above ground pools. When I first started, it was above ground pools, any pool. I don't care what it was. Yeah. It was any pool, you're starting off. But man, to clean above ground pools, it's a lot more time consuming, and it's a lot more difficult, especially, trying to read everything. You have to reach over everything, it's a lot more work. So I could see that. So you did above ground pools, you were saying?
Yeah. And so we've got those down to basically anybody who left last year. This year, when they came back, we told them, we'll do chem only, but that's it. Because we ran into some issues last year with one of my guys. So we use riptides, and they were putting the riptide in and pulling it out, and it was kind of ripping that top part, and it was a brand new above ground pool, and the customer was not happy about that. And it was at that point when I said last year, I said, we're done with this. This is too much to deal with. And
that was a big one for me too, the liability.
Yeah. And then, going and brushing those things, it wears your shoulders out pretty quick. And
you were walking around like this?
Yeah. Yeah, when you're doing 10 of those a day, man, that wears on your shoulders.
No, that's one of the biggest. That was the reason why I stopped doing above ground pool, was the liability. I was like, I don't want to. If I'm brushing it too hard or something happens, I rip it. I ain't buying you a new one. Like, hell no. Yeah. So that's one of the things that made me say, nah, I'm not doing above ground pools. So you're not doing above ground pools no more, though, right?
So we've got one that we do. They were
that's right. You say you do chemicals only on above ground pools. Gotcha.
Yeah, we've got a few of those, but they're few and far between, because we charge $100 a month plus chems for the chem only on those, and a lot of people didn't want to do that.
Wait, what? I thought it's only chemicals that you're doing on those pools.
So we test them, and then if they want us to add them, add the chlorine and acid and all that, we'll do that as well. But we charge them for the chems on that as well.
So $100 to do the chemistry, and plus the chemicals that they're going to add to them.
Yes, sir.
How do you handle difficult situations with clients?
It's challenging.
Yeah.
I try to see everything from their perspective. And, like in Vegas, we had a customer who he's got a Hayward system, and both of his pumps went down. And I actually went out there to clean it, and both of his pumps were shot. He had one single speed and one variable speed TriStar, and they were both shot. The drive went out on one, the capacitor went out on the other. And we don't replace capacitors because, now you got to upgrade to the variable speeds. And so we don't even offer capacitor replacement anymore. You got to upgrade your pump, or you got to find somebody else to do it. So luckily I was able to talk him into replacing both of his pumps. But, it's back to your point on building trust with your customers. You got to, if you're doing things correctly, and they don't feel like you're trying to take them for their money, and they understand that, the way you're going to fix something is going to be top notch, and it's not just going to be slapped together. I really feel like that's a good way to build trust with the clients.
There you go. Okay. So let's talk about the industry and lessons. The biggest changes that you've seen in pool techs or customers' needs, what would you think?
We've seen a lot more customers wanting to, now that we've switched our pricing model to being plus chems, people are more apt to switch over to saltwater pools, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Which is nice for us.
Heck yeah.
But it's also nice for the clients. It's that initial investment, but then they're always having chlorine, and it's a steady feed of chlorine all week long. We did get some of those liquid feeders from Hasa, and those lasted a very short time. We had some issues with those. I feel like the quality wasn't quite there, but we also have very high calcium out here, which I know you guys out there have high calcium as well. And so those things just scale up like no other.
And they get clogged up real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that happen.
Another change I've seen is, and I feel like this has been a long time coming, because I've heard it, throughout the industry. And I think you and Zach were even talking about it on the quality of Pentair, how it's kind of, for the most part. So we've got,
oh man, here we go.
Yeah. We've got 650 pools in Vegas. And for the most part, we almost refuse to sell Pentair products unless the client specifically asks for it.
That bad?
That bad.
And I don't like talking negative about companies. I don't like talking about negative about anybody, but this is information that pool guys need to know, and people could relate to it. Pool guys could relate to this stuff. What is it about Pentair that you're not satisfied with?
Well, I feel like it's an easy fix for them. So most everybody else has a 2-year warranty on, just say, like a pump. If you just put in a pump alone, and Pentair's got a 1-year warranty on most of their products. And so it's an easy sell to the customers. Hey, do you want a 1-year warranty, or would you rather go with a 2? Everybody's got the deal that if you put 2 products together, like a pump and a filter, they'll warranty it for 3 years. But it's a pretty easy to sell to, move the customer away from Pentair if they're only going to warranty their stuff for 1 year.
Okay. What about the actual filing a warranty claim?
Yeah, that's another one. Luckily, we're working with some warranty stations that are pretty good. So we just kind of give them all the customers' info, and they kind of take care of it for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was a way for you to work around it, was just to find somebody that was reliable, and that wasn't going to be like, 2 weeks later and they're barely showing up. And
yeah, trust me, it's still been challenging, but
really,
yeah, because we've got one customer, her pump's been down for 3 weeks now, and I don't know if they're replacing the shaft seal on it or what, but yeah, they're slow going on getting that thing fixed, and so we still face a challenge with that.
Man, that's crazy. What about the other manufacturers? What's your favorite?
So I do like Aquastar stuff. Getting my other company to switch to Aquastar is challenging because they're Service Pro through Jandy, and so we kind of try and strictly only sell Jandy products, and they don't want to really deviate from the big three. But I was trying to come in and push Poolside and Aquastar, and they don't want that. But for my company, since we're not competitors, since we're an hour away, we can sell whatever we want, and so I really push Aquastar because I love Aquastar products, and it's the main thing that Aquastar does, aside from having good products, is they answer the phone when I call. And that is a huge thing. I deal with Omar a lot. Anytime I need something, he will send it to me. He answers the phone. He answers the text. No matter what time of night, I'll text him at 8 o'clock at night, and he usually texts me back within a couple minutes.
Yeah. I have a great relationship with Omar as well. As soon as I text him, he'll answer right back. Omar's a good guy. Omar's good. Lately though, Omar, you gotta answer that phone, bro. Nah, but he's a good guy. They're a good company, reliable. That's the biggest thing about Aquastar that I personally like is if you have an issue with one of their products, they're quick to take care of it.
Yes.
They don't make you jump through hoops. They'll take care of it because at the long run, they want to keep us happy, the clients happy. And to me, it's like, dude, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's cool. What misconceptions do people have about pool pros?
That they're bottom of the barrel people. That's a big one.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of these guys make money, bro. They make bank. Yeah. That's a good one.
I can't remember if I heard it on a podcast or where, but I had heard somebody had gone to a house to service the pool or take a look at something, and it was it was a pretty high end house, and I guess the homeowner got home and the wife stepped out of the car and he was trying to ask him where to hook up a hose to clean the filters. Was that on your show?
Yeah.
That was right. That was Performance Pool Care.
Yes. Yeah. He was talking about, we don't talk to the help.
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane. What is this, the 50s?
Right?
Bro, when he said that, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, man. For reals.
That is nuts. I can't believe somebody would say that to another human.
That's insane. I mean, you got different people, different walks of life, I get, but I'm pretty sure you're the same way. And a lot of our listeners are the same way. It's like you talk to people with respect, no matter what they do. You know, it's an honest living. Hey, they deserve the respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about the weirdest or funniest thing you found in a pool.
So out in Mesquite, we got a lot of customers that live on the golf course, and man, sometimes when you get a skimmer basket all filled up and you can't even see the bottom of it because it's got so jam packed with leaves, I hate sticking my hand in there because we get a lot of rabbits that end up in skimmers, and the homeowners a lot of times don't live there and they're not emptying skimmer baskets while we're gone. And so we get there a week later and it's pretty nasty trying to pull rabbits out of skimmers or pieces of rabbits. But luckily that's the craziest thing I found in skimmer.
You want to know what's the craziest thing I found in a pool?
What?
I found a big old dildo, bro.
I knew you were going to say that. I can only imagine. Was it at an Airbnb or something, or a customer's home?
It was an Airbnb.
Yeah.
I showed up and I'm netting. I was like, what is that? A big old turd on the bottom of the pool? I was like, what is that? And like, we'll go to net it out. I was like, what the? Yeah. You find some interesting things in pools. I've been watching a lot of videos that are getting posted from Florida where the alligators in the pools.
Yeah.
That's insane. I don't know the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. So I'm just going to say alligator, but you see how some of them take them out, how big they get. They're in the pool. I'm like, man, if I was a pool guy out there, man, I'd be like, you got to call somebody else to take care of this.
Yeah.
I saw the video that I saw was a pool guy and I reposted. He grabbed them with the net and then grabbed them and took them out. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it's a different breed down there.
Yeah, man, that is a different breed. I do get a lot, like you said, a lot of rabbits, a lot of rats, that'll get sucked up in the crawlers.
Yeah.
Have you got those?
Yeah.
Where it's like, what the, how did that happen? Like half of it, his head is only on the suction part and his eyeballs are sticking out and everything else is just gutted in.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, that's crazy. The bugs, spiders, snakes, all that good stuff. You get it. Man, what's the favorite?
A lot of black widows out there where you're at?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the other
skimmer lids.
Yeah, the other day, matter of fact, I had one on my cheek. Ooh. Yeah. Thank God he didn't bite me. Thank God nothing happened. But I was like, I felt something in my cheek and I just went like that. And I looked down and it was a big old black widow. I was like, dang, I gotta stop taking my naps close to the skimmers.
Yeah.
What's your favorite tool or piece of equipment to use?
Aside from the Riptide, probably the Hyperpole. As those things hold up.
Yeah, they're light and they're durable for sure. What would you say your dream location to run your business? If you could pick anywhere, where would you be like, man, that'd be a nice place?
Probably back home in Idaho. Surprisingly, I got a buddy up there who started to build a lot of pools, which is kind of weird for Idaho, but I think there's a lot of people leaving California who are moving up to Idaho and they want a pool.
There's a lot of people leaving California. I thought most of them were headed towards Texas or Florida because of the tax bracket. But Idaho, man, how's the weather out in Idaho?
So where we're from in southern Idaho, it's actually very similar to where we're at. It gets in the hundreds every summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And it's
so why the hell you want to go out there, Jordan?
Well, because I miss winter and I miss the trees.
You get the full seasons.
Yes, you do.
Okay, so in the winter, does it snow and water freezes over and all that stuff?
Yeah, I don't necessarily miss that, but I do miss playing in the snow. We used to go snowmobiling. I've been snowmobiling since I was born. Even out in Seattle, that's what we used to do is go snowmobiling, and I really miss that. But I can always go back and visit.
Remind me again, how did you end up in Nevada? Was it because? Go ahead.
my wife has a friend that lives here in the valley that we're in. And so that's kind of how we even knew about it. But we wanted to move to be closer to her. And then it was close to Vegas for me to get a project management job. So that's how we ended up here.
Have you thought about going back though?
Yes. So I kind of have a plan. I think I'm going to start building pools here before too long. I want to build pools here in Nevada. And then, I mean, we're kind of right in, we call it a tri-state area. So we got Nevada, and then Arizona, and then Utah. And then it doesn't take much to get your contractor's license in Idaho. So I want to start building pools in Idaho as well, and just kind of build pools up there in the summer, build pools here in the winter.
Snowbird.
Yep.
Dude, that's a good plan. So you would keep your house. Do you rent or you own out here?
So I own out here, but we'd probably rent it out.
Rent it out and then move out there, come back, so on and so on. And that's what's up. That's a good idea. Yeah. That'd be a good idea. I think for me, it'd probably be San Diego, bro.
There you go.
I think Only Pools, he's out there in San Diego. Yep. And I watch his videos, and we being out here in the desert, you already know, it's like our getaway areas are either San Diego or LA. But to me, it's always been San Diego. Me and my family, we want every 4th of July, we head to San Diego and just chill out there with the beautiful weather. It's nice out there. So to me, it's like, I'd go to San Diego.
Yeah.
That'd be a good place.
There's a lot of pools out there too.
Yeah. There is a lot of pools, but Only Pools got them all. He got them already. Leaves up for us.
The company that I work for in Vegas, we're a sister company of Priority, and they're the second biggest one in Vegas, but then they're also out in San Diego too. They got quite a few pools out there.
So you could go to San Diego.
I could.
Damn. So go ahead.
I was just going to say, San Diego is actually one place I've not been to yet.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
you haven't been to San Diego? Bro, you got to go. It's a very chill vibe, like flip-flop vibe, like a beachy place, you know? And besides that, the weather, well, to me, it just feels really like stress-free kind of area, you know? So I enjoy it. That's why we head out there a lot. But you guys should go. You're not that far away.
I know.
You're like, what?
Down in Palm Springs in September, so.
Hit me up.
Okay.
We'll do lunch. Yeah. Hit me up when you're down here. We'll go do lunch for sure.
Okay. Perfect.
But I was going to say, looking ahead, what are the goals for Blue Oasis over the next few years?
So we definitely want to continue to build our pool service route up to, kind of as many as we can get, because I know I can manage a pretty decent sized pool business now. First coming into it, I started in March, and we only had like 460 pools at that time. And so from March to now, we've gained, almost 200 pools. And we use Pool Monopoly. And so that's definitely helped out a lot.
What's Pool Monopoly?
So they're kind of a marketing. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I know they do a lot of marketing. It's, done for you marketing. But I think they do a lot of the same thing. They bring you a ton of leads, because we get leads out the wazoo. But yeah, it's just been.
I wonder how those leads work. Like are they warm leads, meaning they're ready for somebody to clean their pool, or is it just because that they have a pool?
I'm sure it's both.
No, I know it's both, but I wonder which one's mostly. You know what I mean? Because if it'd be a good one if it's like, oh, these are people that are looking for pool guys. Yeah, obviously. Then I mean, if you're looking, okay, well, this person owns a pool. It's a lead, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
So it's mostly marketing, finding new leads.
Yeah, and they do a really good job at it, because in a couple months we've gained 200 accounts.
Really?
But Vegas is a pretty big market. Almost everybody has a pool in Vegas, so it's pretty big pickings there. So it's going to be different everywhere, but yeah, they've done a fantastic job.
Real quick, going back to, I know this is out of topic because we're talking about, or already talking about what's in the future for you guys. But I just remembered when we're talking about pool equipment, are you that kind of guy? And I just remembered because we were talking about it. Are you the kind of guy that likes the Frankenstein kind of pool equipment, or are you more like a uniform equipment?
So I will do both. I do like uniform, but I also like to Frankenstein them. and it's kind of just whatever I feel is, works the best, but it's also depends on the client's budget too, um, and for the most part, like, going back to the whole Pantera thing, in our business, we've kind of stopped, selling Pantera as well, but that's mostly what the builders put out here is Pantera, but everybody's kind of starting to switch to Jandy. But I want to start building pools. And that's one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to try and talk clients into putting in the new 3. But, I feel like it's mostly up to the builder. It's not usually the clients who are picking their equipment. It's usually the builder going with whatever incentives they can get.
Right. What about when they're already built? When you go in there and you're servicing a pool and it's already built, and let's say it is a Pantera system, everything's Pantera. Do you just replace with the existing, or do you try to put something else?
So I do try to put something else if I feel it's going to be better. And then I also have to take a look at it from the perspective of how much labor it's going to take me to do that and the cost. And so
because if you just do exactly what's on there, you're just taking off and then putting in, and that's it, you're done.
Yeah, and the customer's not going to see as much labor charges where, let's say they're switching out automation from a, Pantera panel to going to the poolside attendant mini or something. There's going to be a bit of labor there, and I feel like it's a better product, but that's kind of on the customer's budget.
Yeah, at the end of it, no matter, we could say whatever we want to say. At the end of it, it's their pool, and they're the ones that are gonna decide what they want on their pool. You said you're thinking about, or you're already building pools?
I'm not already building pools, but I have been taking classes. I've been doing some water shape classes, and I was doing my construction management degree through LSU online, and I kind of put that on hold when I got the job in Vegas. So I put that on hold until I get done with this. I don't know if it's going to be 2 years or whatever, but I do want to go back to jumping into some water shape classes and getting my contractor permit or license. That's kind of what I'm waiting on. I'm just buying my time waiting on that.
How does one go about doing that? If a pool guy that's listening is like, you know what, I'm interested in getting into building pools, what steps do you recommend for him?
Definitely check out the water shape classes. They are spendy, but they are absolutely worth it. Going from, I think it was the construction 2111 was the first class I took. It was very eye-opening on how things are built. It basically gives you a broad overview of how pools are built. And then I took the fluid hydraulics class. And that really was also eye-opening on how things. So now, after taking that class, when I go and replumb stuff, I always take a look and try and make it better than the way it was. And I've learned that in that class, each fitting you put on, even a coupler, reduces increases the head pressure. Obviously with the coupler, it doesn't increase it much, but, putting two 45s together is worse than putting 190 on there. And I didn't think that was going to be the case. Mm-hmm. So.
And what about the your license, contractor license? What classes do you take, or do you know where they can head to be able to start that off?
So I know in some jurisdictions, it's listed on WaterShape's website. You can use their classes to account for experience requirements or education requirements to get your contractor's license. Here in Nevada, they want you to have 4 years of experience before you can get it. And there's not necessarily any education requirements. But like in Utah, you just have to have like 2 years experience. If you have your bachelor's degree, that helps out. And then also if you have your construction management degree or certificate, that'll account for like up to 2 years of experience as well.
Gotcha. So. That's always like, I think that's always like a goal for a lot of the pool guys, is to start building the pools. Once you clean the pools and you repair the pools and you install, then it's like, okay, now let's build them, That way you could have, especially if it's your own business, be able to handle every aspect that comes down to cleaning, or not cleaning, maintaining a pool or having a pool, or anything related to pools. So Jordan, thank you so much for being on the podcast. At the end of every episode, I ask all my guests, what's one piece of advice do you have for our listeners? It could be pool related, non-pool related, but what piece of advice do you have for them?
I would have to say my piece of advice would be, if you're going to be in this business, be in it, do things the right way, get your education. I feel like that's one thing that has very much set us apart from everybody else, is that, I've only been in this business for 2 years now, but I've got more experience versus, a guy that's been in it for 10 years who has not taken any education and doesn't necessarily want to. So I feel like that education really sets you apart.
There you go. You heard it here first. Jordan, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I appreciate you, brother. And give me a call when you're out here in the Palm Springs area. That way we can hang out.
All right. Thank you, Pete.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Órale.
Pool podcast. Let's vibe. Let's vibe. Game so deep. Let's ride. Let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. We know. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Pool podcast. Let's vibe. Let's vibe. Game so deep. Let's ride.